Hi, my name is Dr. Adil Al-Faqir. Today I'll be presenting a lecture about foreign exchange risk management using the example of cylinder options. Let's first define what's an option. Well, an option is simply a derivative that gives its holder the right or the option or the choice to exercise or not to exercise a contract. Now, for any option, there is an issuer and there is a writer, and the buyer pays a fee to hold the option, and that fee is simply called a premium. Now, there are two main types of options that we should consider. One is called put, and the other one is called a call option. We are going to define both of them in the context of a foreign exchange. Now, a put option, it's simply that the issuer, i.e. the writer, gives the right to the buyer, i.e. the holder, the right to sell the underlying currency. The underlying currency means simply the foreign currency at a specific rate on a specific date. A call option, on the other hand, the issuer in this case, or the writer, gives the buyer or the holder the right to buy the underlying currency at a specific rate on a specific date. One type of options that combine the two is called cylinder option, and that is simply a simultaneous purchase of a put or a call and selling a call or a put, usually for the same amount and the same expiry date. Let's consider a simple example. Suppose a UK-based company called UK Best exported PCs to a US-based company called US Tech, and we are awaiting an amount of $10,000 in 3 months' time. Now, in order to hedge against interest rate fluctuations, it has decided to enter into a cylinder option by doing the following. UK Best issued a call option to UK Bank at $1.5 to the pound, and UK Bank issued a put option to UK Best at $1.8 to the pound. So let's break this example a bit down. The UK Best issued a call option to UK Bank at 1.5. Now, what does that mean? It means that the UK Bank has the right in 3 months' time to buy the $10,000 from UK Best at 1.5, paying £6,666. Now, it will only do so, that means it will only buy it from UK Best if it is expensive to buy the dollars from the market at that time. Example, if the rate at that time was $1.2, then the UK Bank will pay £8,333 to get the $10,000. So it is logical now to see that it is a lot cheaper to buy it from UK Best than from the market. So it will exercise its option with UK Best, making the bank save £1,667. We should notice that the dollar has gone stronger from 1.5 to 1.2, i.e. the pound can buy you fewer dollars. So, conclusion, as the underlying currency in this case gets stronger and below the strike price, the bank will exercise its call option. Okay. From the other side, we have that the UK bank has issued a put option to UK Best at $1.8, which means that UK Best has the right in 3 months to sell, okay, the $10,000 that it will receive from abroad to UK bank at $1.8, i.e. it will give them the dollars, the 10,000, and receive from the bank 5,555 pounds. UK Best will only do this, i.e. sell them to the bank, if it will get less dollars from the market at that time. Example, if the rate in the market was $2 to the pound, then UK Best will get only 5,000 from the market. So it makes sense that UK Best will exercise its option and sell the dollars to the UK bank at 1.8, making it gain an amount of 555 compared to what it will do in the market. We should notice here that the dollar has gone weaker, i.e. from 1.8 to 1 to 2. So the dollars can buy you fewer pounds. Okay. As a little conclusion, as the underlying currency, in this case the dollar, gets weaker, okay, above the put strike price, then the exporter, which is in this case UK Best, will exercise its put option. Right. This is a little shape of the cylinder option, and as we can notice here, there are two sides to the story. We have the put strike, which is 1 put, and the call strike, which is 1.5. Okay, and as we said before, below the call strike, the bank will exercise its call option. Okay. And above the put strike, the exporter will exercise its call option. And in between, nobody will exercise their call option or their put option. Now, how about if no dollars are received at all? Remember that UK Best is awaiting to receive some money from abroad. So how about if the other company has gone bust? Then, in this case, if the rate falls below the call option rate, in this case, the bank will still exercise its option. Alright? It doesn't care if you receive money or not. Which means that the bank wants to buy the dollars from UK Best at 1.5 by paying the 10,000 at 1.5. Okay? Making a payment of only 6,666. And obviously the bank will resell those dollars that it will get from UK Best at 1.2 in the market to make 8,333, and of course making a gain of 16,067. So the bank in this case doesn't care whether you receive the money or not. That's your own issue. That's the own issue of UK best. This is a case of what we call closeout. Since UK best has not received the dollars, what it will do, rather than going through the whole story of getting the dollars, giving them to the bank, and the bank then will sell them in the market, what UK best will do, it will only compensate the bank by this amount, which is £1,667. We refer to this simply as the intrinsic value of the option. Okay, the intrinsic value of the option in this case is simply the difference between what the bank can get in the market and what it can pay to the market versus what it can pay to exercise its call option. So let's consider a summary table using different spot rates ranging from $1.2 to the pound to $2 to the pound. On the row side, we have whether the money has been received or not. Then we have the spot amount, and in this case, the spot amount is simply the amount that you are actually waiting to receive, okay, and that is divided by the value of your spot rate. Okay. The same thing applies to the call option in this case, or the call value of the option. That is again the 10,000 that you are normally supposed to receive from your client in the US, that's $10,000, and then once again you take it and you divide it by the value of the and the same thing applies here to the put value, so 10,000 divided by 1.8, and then we say whether it's been exercised by the bank or the exporter or maybe nobody, and then the outcome to the exporter, and then whether that is a credit or debit. A credit means it's added to the account of the exporter. Debit means it's money reduced from the account of the exporter. Now, if we take, for example, the first row, which says here 1.2, and we have that the case that there was no money received from the US company, right? Then what's going to happen is the bank will still want to exercise its option. Now, why is that? Now, this is very simple. If you take, for example, the call option value, which is 6,066 in this case, 10,000 divided by 1.5, it means that the bank, right, will pay 10,000 or will pay 6,666 pounds to UK Best to get the dollars by exercising its option at 1.5 rather than going and doing the same process or buying the dollars from the market, in which case it will pay 8,333. So it is best in this case for the UK bank to exercise its option. Now, as we said before, because UK Best has not received its money, this is called a close out, okay? And rather than going through the whole process, what UK Best will do, as we said before, it will only pay the difference between 8,333 and 6,066, okay? And that would be 1,666 taken out from the account of the exporter and given to the bank as a gain. This represents, since it is being reduced from the account of the exporter, this is a debit. Okay. Now, if we take on the other example of the same spot rate, but here we go, we're lucky, we got the money. So yes, we received the money. Once again, 1.2 is below the call option, which is 1.5. So in this case, it will again be exercised by the bank. Now, right? So since our company has received the money, all it will do is to basically give it to the bank because the bank wants it, okay, at 1.5, right? And obviously, as we said before, it will give it to the bank at 6,066 pounds, okay. Yeah, so it will actually receive from the bank 66,666, while it could have sold it in the market at 8,333. So literally, UK Best is actually making a loss because it could have sold it in the market better than selling it to the bank. So this resulted in a loss of 1,666 pounds, which is again debited from the account of the exporter. Now, if the rate is 1.6, and notice here we have 1.6 and 1.7, which are actually between 1.8 and 1.5. Remember, 1.5. 1.5 is your call option strike, and 1.8 is your put option strike. Okay. So let's take the case of 1.6, okay, which is about 1.5. Now we take the first case. Now, did we receive the money from the US company? It says here, no, we did not receive the money. Okay, so we did not receive the money. Now, if we did not receive the money, will the bank still want to exercise its option? Well, if you remember from the cylinder, we said that if the rates have fallen between the call option and the put option, then nobody will be exercising the option. Okay, so in this case, our company did not receive any money at all, so it will make no transaction neither on the market nor with its bank. Now, if the rate is 1.7, and here it doesn't matter whether 1.7 or 1.6, but it's just another change of spot rate really. But the main important thing here is we have received the money. Once again, we are in between the two, but basically nobody will want to exercise their option, okay? But since our company has received its money, it will simply go and sell it in the spot market. So it cannot exercise it with its bank, it's not suitable, okay? Because it will only get 5,555. So it's rather go and do it in the market, okay? So exporter sells at spot. Of course, this is money that is being gotten by the exporter, and that's been added to his account. Now, let's say now that we are above the put option price. So imagine we are at $2 to the pound. Did we receive money? Yes. Okay, so if we have this yes in here, we know that if we are above the put option price, then it's the exporter who will exercise his option, okay, which means he has the right to sell the dollars at the price which is 1.8. He already got this right, okay? So if he exercises his rights, he will get 5,055 for the dollars he received. if he does not exercise that right, he will get simply from the market, he will get £5,000. Now, does he want to do that? Of course not. He will exercise his option with the bank. So that will make him get an amount of £5,555 from his bank, and that is considered as a credit situation, which is nice. Okay. Now, if we have the bad scenario in which he has not received any money, okay, so we are at a situation where we wanted to exercise our put option because we are above the put, but we have not received any money at all. So what can we do? So in this case, the exporter will still want to exercise his option. Okay, so what he's going to be doing is he's gonna sell dollars. So he's gonna buy dollars or have some dollar reserves or buy them from the market. So he's gonna sell them, right, to the bank. Or if we can put it in another way, the exporter might decide to buy the dollars from the market. In this case, he will pay 5,000. Okay, 5,000, right? And then he will sell those. Dollars to the bank, right? In which case he will get 5,055. So plus 5,555 pounds. Okay, and that obviously make him a gain of 555 pounds. This again is a case that we call closeout, and that's a nice thing in this case. So it's been credited to the account of the export. There is a summary table of the cylinder option based on our case. Now, first thing we should consider is that between the put and the call option prices, no option is actually exercised. Now, if we are above the put strike, which is 1.8, example, we had $2 to the pound, then this means, for example, that selling 10,000 to the bank, okay, at 1.8 gives the exporter 5,555, while selling 10,000 in market gives the exporter only 5,000 pounds. So by exercising its option, the exporter will gain 555 pounds. Now let's see the bottom line story. If the rate is below the call strike, example 1.2, in this case, buying 10,000 from UK Best at 1.5 will cost the bank 6,667, while buying the same dollars from the market will cost the bank 8,333. So it is logical that the bank will exercise its option with UK Best. So it will buy the dollars from UK Best, making a huge saving of 1,616. I hope you have liked the video, and I would love to catch up with you on other videos. Thank you very much.